Hello YouTube, this is an unboxing video / initial impressions of the Thrustmaster T-Flight rudder pedals. This is the new rudder pedals that came out, in the last few days. Finally arrived a couple of weeks later than I anticipated from Amazon, but they got here today. And this isn't normally where I do videos, but the house is in a state of complete disarray at the moment as we got hardwood floors arriving this week finally to be put in, so everything had to come out of the upstairs and down here to the basement. So what do we have here? Looks like this is an Ethernet cable. Be careful when you open this because there's an Allen wrench that comes with it. I'm assuming that's going to be for adjusting stuff. And this thing right here has a flip switch on it that is car or aircraft, which I'm going to assume car, aircraft, that you could use these pedals for driving in race car sims or for flight. And I'm going to assume that if you put it to the car, that it would disable the slide back and forth, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and tuck this Allen wrench into my pocket so that I don't lose it. But this looks like it's like an RJ12 or RJ something or other type old serial Ethernet cable. And here they are. Doesn't look like there's anything else. There's the instruction manual here. I'm going to go ahead and move all this stuff down. Let's see, what do we need to do to get these open? Okay. So here these are. And I will see, I'm going to go ahead and put this here and adjust the camera to be a little bit better there. So you get this out, and this comes with, instead of directly plugging into a USB cable, it plugs into this thing right here. It's not quite an Ethernet. It kind of has its own little special offset connector. So you plug this into there, and then that would go into your USB cable. I'm not sure how I feel about having this switch down here. Now CH has little stop chocks in them. So I guess, notice how this twists like that. That's for aviation. And I guess if you click it for that, it would ignore this input and then only use the toe brake-like method here. Where what CH does is to negate this, they actually have little stops that you put into the slide tracks, and that prevents it from going like this, and then you can just use them as toe brakes. But initially, they slide along metal poles. Everything else is plastic here. I do like the fact that it does have a little bit of a indicator there to tell you just how far you are twisting. That being said, in my normal flight sim configuration, where it would be under the desk, I would never see it. If you were playing like out in front of you, you'd be fine. I think these pedals are nice and large, but the toe brake doesn't seem like it has a very wide throw. But it could also just be first opinions from me just standing up here. Take a look at the back. Kind of see there's the housing electronics. Again, it does slide on metal poles, but everything else looks like it is made of plastic here. Now, interestingly enough, I think that this has the same problem that a lot of people are going to find that the CH does. These are very close together. In fact, if you'll give me a second here, I will go grab my CH pedals and we will do a quick side-by-side comparison. And welcome back. Now these are the CH Pro pedals next to the new Thrustmasters. And the first thing that I really note is it appears that a lot of people complain about the CH pedals being too close together, and these look like they're even closer together. And I was trying to find my calipers to do a better measurement, but I can't find them anywhere. The house is in a complete state of disrepair. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this the old-fashioned way. 4 inches in between compared to 2.5 inches at their max separation for the Thrustmaster pedals. So the Thrustmaster pedals are a lot closer together than the CH pedals, which is something that a lot of people complain about when they're talking about the CH pedals being too close together. So if you think that these have the nickname of nut busters, you're not going to want the Thrustmaster pedals if that was already deemed to be too close together for you. Just as a quick comparison there. So I'm going to see how they feel here. Now for reference, these are size 8.5 shoes. And I think it's kind of interesting because just wearing these shoes, they kind of feel really tight up in here. Like if you had a size 10 or 11, I doubt your feet would fit. But I mean, these are close together. Now, they do seem to have a pretty good throw here. The toe brakes, doesn't seem like there's as much throw as in the CH, but just kind of sitting back here, yeah, it has less throw than it seems like the CH, but that could also just be my opinion as well. Let's see if I can get them kind of centered here. Toe brakes seem okay when compared, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a... They slide nicely. I will give them that. I mean, these, they slide real nice and gently, and I haven't put any extra lubrication or anything else on them. They are nice gliding and smooth as silk. I will give them that. But yeah, it does keep my legs very close together, even compared with the CH. If I go ahead. Now I did notice something very interesting here. They have this little, I don't know if I'm showing it, nope, apparently not, little area here that you could actually, it's designed that you can put screws basically in for mounting screws. There's one on each side here, and then if you wanted to mount them to something, but that seems like it's pretty flimsy plastic right in there, and that if you tried to secure them down or screw them down or nail them down, it would break real easily. So I don't think you'd want to do that. But yeah, now I've not been able to put these to any practical use as of yet. I will be doing that over the course of the next week. I will be probably flying quite a bit of DCS and some other games, as I will give my CH gear a rest. Probably a much-deserved rest after a couple of thousand hours over the past 2 years. Now granted, with my throttle and fighter stick, that's not necessarily true, because about 1,200, 1,300 hours of that has been in Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. And for those titles, I'm using my CH Flight Sim yoke, but the pedals have gotten the full 2,000 hours worth of gaming. Again, a lot of times when you're flying airliners and stuff like that, you're not using the rudder pedals a lot, except for on takeoff and landing when you're in the air. So if you're in the air for a 3-hour flight, you know, there's maybe only 20 minutes of that you actually have any feet on the rudder. So keep that in mind whenever I do say 2,000 hours, but gives you an idea of the longevity. And again, as far as longevity goes, my CH stuff is the gold standard that I use for my HOTAS equipment. But I'll go ahead and just kind of compare it here. First thing that I notice going back to these is, yeah, while the motion works, it is, because this is on rollers inside the track, those do glide much smoother. These are much more herky-jerky with that roller motion than the Thrustmasters. But my legs are further apart. I can definitely notice that. And the toe brake, I guess, is about the same. Now, the interesting thing about the CH pedals is there's really no stop block up here, so it doesn't matter how big of a boot. And again, I have size 9 feet. or size 8.5, I guess, are what these shoes are. But they can extend beyond basically whatever, and they fit my feet perfect. But I mean, if you're like wearing a size 14 shoe, probably neither of these solutions are going to be ideal for you. So that is basically my initial first impressions of these Thrustmasters compared to my CH gear. And yeah, the Thrustmasters are definitely slide a lot easier. I mean, this has a lot rougher motion that I can feel in comparison. Those just glide almost effortlessly. Here, there's just a little bit more pressure that you have to use. But also keep in mind, this stuff also has 2,000 hours of use on it too. So, yeah, the Thrustmaster T-Flight rudder pedals. First impressions, if you hated how close together the CH stuff is, you're gonna don't even consider the Thrustmaster rudder pedals. But I will be hooking these up in conjunction with the Warthog here probably fairly shortly, and this next week I will be putting it through its paces with the Warthog and seeing if the Warthog can dethrone my CH gear as my favorite stuff for most flight and space simming activities. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so if you want to see the further in-depth reviews, and it'll probably be about 2 weeks before I get back with a more in-depth look at the Thrustmaster rudder pedals. And I usually like to try to get around 50 hours of game time, usually about 5 or 10 hours with about 4 or 5 different games. I'll put it through its paces with Falcon BMS, DCS, various titles there, Star Citizen, hopefully. Yeah, I guess 2.4 did get released, although 2.4 is a horrible, horrible build. Hopefully they get that straightened out enough that I can test it adequately. Elite Dangerous, certainly. Microsoft Flight Simulator X, X-Plane, the new Dovetail Games Flight School. All of those will be forthcoming in reviews, and I will probably Twitch stream at least some of this. You can find me at /SK Unimatrix over at Twitch TV. That's Sierra Kilo Uniform India. Or no, wait, November India. I'll let you all figure the rest of that out. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.